Welcome to the Failure to Stop podcast, the #1 show where police meet society and culture, big case breakdowns every single week. I'm your host, Eric Tansey, and with me, as always, is Josh from Dead Leg Media. Today, we're breaking down a case out of Bath Township, Michigan. This is it's on every cop's worst nightmare list. I won't say it's your worst nightmare, but it's definitely on your top 3. Let's go there. We'll say top 3. Today's a special day. It's my birthday. Today is my birthday. Happy Trans Awareness Day. Birthday from Mer530. Abby Ellsworth on Being a Police Officer says, happy birthday, Eric. Will Cray says, happy birthday, Skate Daddy Transy. This is a live show. Ka-chow says Dead Leg. This is a live show. And I'm wearing my robe today. And let me just tell you a little backstory before we jump into it today. My wife, she said, why don't we do something special for your birthday today or for tomorrow, this week, whatever, Friday? And I said, because today is my actual birthday. And I said, yeah, whatever you guys want to do, just let me know. And then she was like, I think what you should do is pre-record the Friday show so you don't have to do a podcast on Friday and you can take the whole day off. And I said, okay, here's the thing. If you have something planned, I have no problem pre-recording the show, but the show is not something I have to do. I enjoy doing the show. And so it's not work for me to do it. So if you don't have anything planned, please don't feel like you need to, so that you know what I mean? I want to be here podcasting and I want to do it live. I only podcast pre-record when I just absolutely can't do it. And so she was like, oh, okay, well then we'll plan all of your activities for your birthday afterwards. But they did give me my present this morning. And after 13 years of wearing the same robe every day, my family went in and got me a new robe. And listen, I'm a robe freak. I like my robes and my robes aren't cheap. And so that's why I keep them for 13 years. And so this one has the towel inside with the fleece outside. It's a really snazzy, expensive suit. You could smoke cigars in it. It's really nice. But listen, I like the finer things in life. And I couldn't even believe it because I didn't ask for it, but they just knew that my robe, I'm so attached to it, so close, but it's thin. It's worn thin. You know what I mean? And so they went in and bought me a new robe. And so I'm going to wear it for the whole show. So yes, that's why I'm wearing this mask, this really nice robe on YouTube with no shirt underneath. I'm not trying to be a narcissist and show my fat chest, my fat hairy chest. And that's why God made me. He gave me a handsome face, but he gave me weird chest hairs and no matter how hard I work, I don't really get abs. You know what I mean? So it's I can't really be a narcissist because I never really have that. I never really have the full complete body to look that good. Like a narcissist should look, you know what I mean? So it's God just was I'm going to keep you humble. I'll give you a face for radio, but I'm not going to give you a body to go with it no matter how much you work out. But yes, thank you. Nico the Greco says, Hugh Tansey. Loren says, I look like Tansey Hefner. Lots of good jokes there. Loren says lots of things. But no, today is my birthday. And we have a really great breakdown for you. Let's get into today's show. Joshua, take us away with a great intro brought to you by...
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on Sunday.
This is about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Guns up, giddy up. Welcome to the Failure to Stop podcast, brought to you by factormeals.com/Wolfpack50 for 50% off. Factor75.com, Wolfpack50 OFF. Josh, good morning, sir. Mustache is looking strong today. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm going to shave it off and send it to you for your birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. I would really appreciate that. Guys, today's show is it's intense and it's there's a lot to it. So I can't joke with you but so much. I can't all the niceties of today are pretty much over. We have to get into this because this is a longer breakdown with a lot of things to break down. But really quick, if you haven't already, we are about 6 weeks out from Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story releasing to the masses. And please, if you haven't already, go ahead and get down on the pre-order, guys. I'm down to like the last 25 bookmarkers to send to put in the mail. And so I'm putting them all in the mail at the same time, and I've done hundreds of them. And I just like when it's a rainy day, I start doing, because I do it all by hand. But I will finish that up this week no matter what. So it's really exciting. But if you haven't already done so, please go and order Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't listened, the audiobook, I didn't know it was going to be that good. I would have been pushing the audiobook way sooner had I known that we were going to create an audiobook like we did. It's Simon and Schuster, which is one of the top 5 major publishing houses. This is a once in a lifetime publishing deal from a house like that. And so I don't really get a lot of creative freedom anymore with the book as to where it stands now. Like I wrote it, I sold the rights to it, and now I'm pretty much at their mercy. And so when it came to the audiobook, they told me where to go, where to be, and what to do, and they had a director there. And so I have listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I thought it was like I also heard that a lot of these audiobooks, they record your voice for a few minutes and then they do AI takes your voice and does the audio reading. And so I didn't know if that was going to happen. But a lot of it would be like, hi, my name is Eric Tansey, and I was a police officer for 13 years. Like, I didn't know if they were going to let me do voices, if they were going to let me like go off the rails. I had no idea. The audiobook, I have a character there was a director. I have a voice for every character. They brought in musicians. No AI is used at all for any of the sounds in the book. They brought in real musicians. Noel White was the audio engineer. A dobro, guitar, harmonica. We created all the sounds. Sounds for foot chases. Sounds for end of chapters, beginning of chapters. Sounds for when I'm sad. Sounds for when I'm happy. Sounds for when it's intense. And it was all orchestrated, where they would play the music, and then I would get to say like, can we add more of this or can we add more of that? And so now the audiobook is more like a movie than it is an audiobook. So, definitely if you're into audiobooks, if you want to be entertained, it was a lot of fun. I spent just over 20 hours in the sound booth to do it, the whole thing. Not at one time. Like I didn't sit there for 20 hours straight. But at the end, the director said it was quite incredible because the effort that we gave was almost 99% of the time a 40-hour effort. That would take anybody else 40 hours to figure that out, and we did it in 20. So that was good. I think that's just from all my years of podcasting. So it comes to play. You never know what little skills you're going to pick up along the way, and you're going to be able to use them later. But I will say this, I'm not proud of a lot of things. There's a lot of things where I say like I could have done better. I wish I would have done this versus that. I wish I would have made a better choice here or there. I will say with the audiobook, Josh, it's like a masterpiece. The audiobook is really freaking good. I had so much fun. It was really, really, really hard. And I had to really get out of my comfort zone. But man, it was, once we got the hang of the things, and once I kind of like figured out what the director, like how the director is, and I got over the fear of what are people going to think of me, or can I do that voice? Can I not do that voice? And, once they brought my self-esteem up to a point where I just said, fuck it, let's go. Today we roll. And I just got loud with the microphone and just was unapologetically myself. I was like, dude, I don't know that there's ever been a time where I've just said, fuck it, I'm going to be me.
I don't know. Every time I do podcasting, because it's usually, hey, hit the button and we're live and the wheels are off. We're just on the roller coaster ride with Eric.
Yeah, but like I don't yell. Like even if I do yell, or if I do a voice or a character, like I'm in the back of my head saying like, "Oh, you should slow down. You should do blah blah blah." You know what I mean? Like I'm always calculated when I do it. But with this, when I first started with the audiobook, and the director was like, "Read that sentence again. I need more emotion out of that sentence. More emotion. Do it louder. Read it again. Do it with the same emotion but slower. Do it again." And in my brain, I was like, "Dude, I'm not good at this." And so then I started to get like very like just reading monotony, like, oh, I'm not good at this. I should probably slow down, whatever. And then it was like the audio engineer was like, look, dude, like this isn't you. Let's stop here. Let's come back. Let's redo everything. And like, just let it go. Like, just be an entertainer and entertain us. And don't worry about messing up. Don't worry about what I think or what the director thinks. Just let it go. And bro, it was after that, magic was happening. So what can I take from it is, guys, I don't know, maybe I've learned something. Maybe if I take that in my life and I just do a little bit more of that in my life, and just go for it, just do it, just dance like nobody's watching, baby. Great things can happen. So, in which case, this case today is pretty insane. So we'll jump into it. This case, let me just say, it comes out of Bath County, Michigan. No, I'm sorry, Bath Township, Michigan. We have counties. We don't have townships in North Carolina. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, can we do that? Can we just get all of that in the same thing? Can we make all the same verbiage? Like you've got like, what is it? Pennsylvania's got boroughs and all these other little like townships and
it's
covenants strange. And all this weird. It's a city.
Yeah, you got cities and you've got towns. You got small towns, you got cities, and everything's directed by cities or counties, really. That should be it. But Bath Township, Michigan, police officers have been put on administrative leave after a shooting at a suspected of stabbing a man that he held. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say the word because I'm going to play the video. And I'm just going to let you guys all live in suspense together. So here we go. Think which one's which. Let's see here. Let's start with.
Where's he at? Beating on us in here. I have no idea who he is.
This is coming to us.
By the way,
police
this
activity.
There you go. Yep. Thank
There
you.
you go.
This is all coming from policeactivity.com on YouTube. And here we go.
You come out of the house, sir. I'm here. I know. You come out. I got my roommate up here. Came up and slugged me in the head and started beating him. I don't know who he is. Go out of the house. Go. Behind your car. This is the police department. Come out of the house now. I'm on scene, trying to call him out of the house. Sir, I'm going to ask you to go back by my car again, please. I think he's high. If I can if I can get a unit to go on the back side of the house. You said someone else is inside? Your roommate's inside? We haven't. You can go inside. I have a housemate in there. He's beating on both of us. He slugged me in the jaw.
All right, let me ask really quickly up until this point, and just for our audio listeners, which 99% of our listenership comes from audio, let me ask you this, and I'll ask some of the civilians too. You're a cop, you're by yourself, you're alone, and there's an unknown man inside of a house, and you can hear a guy in the background yelling, "Help, he's stabbing me." Do you stand at the door and wait for backup, or do you just go in, or do you... No, look, I'll just ask. I'll stop there. I don't want to give too many clues. Josh, let me ask you what you're doing. Are you going directly in, or just let me ask this. What are you doing in this scenario as this cop?
From what I can hear at least one or two cars in the background. So I know help is close. So
Okay.
if I know that help is like, it's going to give me that extra little bit of confidence, because when you're in these situations, especially when you're by yourself, like I'm very confident, but every now and then you're going to have that self-doubt. And like, that's one of those moments where you're going to have to just man up and have the confidence to go in. But I hear the backup. I hear backup. I know that as soon as I get in the door, I've got somebody. So if I get inside and shit starts hitting the fan, I know that I'm going to have help readily available right behind me. So from what I'm hearing, I want the urge not to go in there. I want to be in there. I want to go in. I want to get more information. But at the same time, is this an ambush? Is this something set up? Is this old man really not like police and he's got cancer and is on his way out? He wants to ambush police and take a bunch of people with him? Because we've never seen cases like that where people just want to ambush the police. So it's that I want to go in because I hear the help, but at the same time, we've also seen everything that's happened in the media in the last 10, 15 years. But I still would wanted to go in.
Yeah. So a young Tansey, and you can read this in my book in the first chapter, I believe. Maybe it's chapter number 2. I have a scenario similar to this, and it doesn't work out for me all that well. But I went in. So I would say young Tansey would just go in. I think what this officer's doing is not a terrible job. One, you should have the confidence that you can go in. Abby Ellsworth says she's not a cop, but she would wait for backup. What can he do on his own? But you can shoot somebody when you're alone if they're holding somebody hostage or they're stabbing somebody. I mean, and you can stop the threat of stabbing somebody. But I think what's important is, and I like what this officer's doing, is he's asking questions. Now you got to also remember his adrenaline is going up. He's by himself. And that in itself creates a lot of adrenaline. And so the adrenaline is starting to course through his veins, and the brain synapses, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to try to pretend like I am and use big words, but everything is firing in his brain, and eventually shit's going to take over. Adrenaline is going to take over. It's very difficult for it not to unless you are forged in chaos, which is a new book out by Tyler Gray. We talked about that on last week's show, but it is very, very difficult, even if you are forged in chaos, to fight off that adrenaline. And so he's asking good questions, and I think that's okay to do. I think who's in the house, how many people are in the house, what does the guy look like, and who has the knife? Because you don't want to run in there and the good guy, your roommate, has gotten on top with the knife. Because I'll tell you what, guy comes into my house and I get a chance to get on top, I'm carving that dude up like a fucking Halloween pumpkin. And I don't want to get shot by the police while I'm doing it either. And so I don't have a problem with him asking questions, but at some point you do have to go in and stop the aggression, stop the violence, and try to save a life. So let's see what happens. Yep, he goes in. So he walks into the house alone, rather quickly. He asks just a couple of questions, and then he goes right in. You can hear the guy saying, "Help me, help me." He's stabbing me. He walks through the door, which has almost like a false living room, and then what I guess you would call in Michigan a mud room. It's like a little bench area. There's some stairs that go up to a platform. There's some trash bins. It's inside the house, but there's a bench and a whole bunch of shoes. So definitely a mud room, and then another front door that's all glass. And so this cop's making his way alone. And again, it's not as easy as one would think. There's corners that need to be cleared. And every time you pass a corner, all you're thinking about is, oh, I'm glad nobody's behind that corner. Oh, I'm glad nobody's behind that corner, because all these little corners that somebody could have been in are chances that you could have gotten stabbed in the neck, etc.
Police department! He's stabbing me!
Here's officer number 2.
Where you at?
Backup gets here. I do like that they're tactfully making progress.
Help! Get out, get out, get out! Help!
Oh, and there's we go. Now this is why we keep our fingers off the trigger. Here, this cop is scanning, and the call taker has snuck back into the house and is trying to be like a ninja, and he's crouched over like a cop, like a cat, trying to hide behind the cops. And the cop turns around, and he's like, "Fuck!" Whoa, there's somebody right there. And he's like, "Yo, get out of here." So again, that's why we keep our fingers off the trigger, because that could have easily been that could have easily been crazy. And this is why we also have to check our rear all the time, because what if the 911 caller, like Josh brought up, was actually a bad guy and now starts stabbing you, the police, from behind? So I'll play that again for you so you can catch it.
Help! Help!
Yeah,
Get out, get out, get out!
yeah, that caught me off guard.
Roommate, get out! Help! Get out of there! Cover your hands now!
And then here's something else we have to worry about. Now we have a dog.
Dog.
We have a dog. Thank God this dog is like the chillest dog ever. and also the most worthless dog ever. I hate that we're at the point in society. Here's a Tansey opinion time where all the dog haters are gonna, the dog lovers are gonna hate me. But like, you fucking own a dog for like literally one reason, and that's like to protect your shit. And like, I don't understand like why people have dogs that don't protect their shit. And I get it, you need companionship and stuff like that, but like, I hate it. I hate dogs. I hate pets. And if I was ever in a situation that my dog wasn't being useful, I'll just simply get rid of him. Like, that's just me. But like, this dog is worthless. It's not even barking. It's not even trying. If I tickle my kids, my dog will bite me on the elbow. And I'm good with it. You know what I mean? Like, my dog's like, yo, don't be messing with those kids. I will fuck you up. He's a chocolate lab, but he doesn't mess around. So I keep him. But like, if my dog was like nipping at the kids or like, I'll just get rid of him like in a second. And after this, if this old ass dog was just doing that, I'm getting rid of him, getting a new one. This one's worthless. Abby says that the help sounds fake. It really does. It does sound fake. The whole call sounds fake. My roommate, this guy's like 60 years old, and he's like, my roommate's inside. And it's like, that's weird. And it's like, help, he's stabbing me.
He's got a rolling pin.
Help, he's stabbing me. Like, it all seems very ambushy or very like drug.
Something's up. Like
something's weird. But in this case, nothing really is up. I'll just spoil alert. Nothing's up.
14 years.
Okay, there we go.
Put down the knife and let him go. Put down the knife and let him go.
Dining room
now.
with another exit.
Go, sir! Get out of there now! Go! Stay.
So they move into the living room for the audio listeners, and then he's being held hostage in a bedroom doorway. He moves the hostage to a door and then pushes the hostage towards the police and runs out the back door. And of course, the hostage is condition black. He's just standing there like, what the frick is going on? And so the cops have to like get him to snap out of it. But just like, you know, cops are humans. So you just saw what condition black looks like in a civilian. Cops can go through the same thing where it's like your brain doesn't really process what's going on. So I'll play it again. And at the end of the day, these guys didn't know this guy. They had no idea who he was. So it's not drug related. This is like at 2:00 in the afternoon, and nobody's really expecting this. So this guy is like just straight up condition black. Here we go.
Go now! Go, sir! Get out of there now! Go! Stay inside the house. Drop the knife! Get on the ground now! Stop now! Get on the ground now!
Yikes.
Oh,
All right, so let's talk about it really quick. That was crazy. Now let me start here. One, can he shoot? Can the officer shoot? Does he have grounds to shoot? What you're seeing here for the audio listeners is the suspect is running away. He's running away. He's not even looking back towards the cops. He has a backpack on, and he is running. Does he have the justification for shooting at him? Yes or no? What do you think in the chats? Really? I think he does, because I think you could articulate that he is holding random people hostage. And I would say he's still armed. And once you're doing that and you're still armed, that there's no, that's exigent, that it's more probable than not that you're going to go find another hostage or you're going to kill somebody on your way. So I think he has the justification to shoot at him. I think he's justified.
I can see where it would be justified, but I can also see where someone would say, who? There could be other suspects, there could be other victims, but there's big empty yard. Not only that, the car that was driving by in the backdrop.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that yet. We're just talking about the justification to shoot him or not, minus the car. If you didn't see the car, is he justified in pulling the trigger as this guy is fleeing the scene with the weapon in hand?
Get on the ground now!
Right there. Does he have the justification at this time to try to shoot him?
Because he has a weapon. He does have a weapon, but it's not a gun. He is posing a threat, but he's posing a threat to himself. There's nobody else around him.
I disagree. I think he poses a threat to society at this point. I think if somebody was jogging down the street, that this guy has already shown that he's going to take a hostage, and he'll do it again.
Yeah,
I think he's justified.
I could see where we justify, but I could also see where some activists would say, "Who?"
Well, sure, yeah.
Like if this was 10 years ago, easily. This is no brainer. But like I would say in today's society, you very, very much have to cross your T's and dot your I's. But you've explained why you. It's not just that you're dropping bodies; it's that you're explaining why the bodies are being dropped.
Yes. So somebody brought up Tennessee versus Gardner. Yes, Tennessee versus Gardner is shooting somebody that is apprehending a fleeing suspect, but this suspect versus we already have like a violent felony, and we have a threat to others. So yeah, I think Tennessee versus Gardner kind of applies. And at this point, you have a fleeing violent felon that you could articulate is going to do. Now, somebody else brought up that 40-yard shot's not a hard shot if you know what you're doing. Yes, if you have something to brace up against, if you are shooting at a target that's not moving, if your adrenaline's not through the roof, if you're on a range and you know that if you miss, you're going to hit a berm. I think this is a next to impossible shot unless you. I don't think this is not going to be a very easy shot to take at all. Not with a handgun, not with a pistol, not in the position he has. I think this is like a 10% chance. I think this is like a 10% chance you have of hitting that dude with that pistol at this range, not posted up on anything, not in a prone, not in a perfect shooting stance or position. And the guy's getting further away and he's running. What I think here is I'm more focused on running. I'm more focused on running. Although I knew back when I was a cop, and I talk about this in my book a lot, is that I trained to catch a bad guy. I've been playing catch the bad guy since I was a little boy. And one of the first big arrests that I have in my book, and I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a very difficult arrest. And then I was actually relieved when the guy started to run, because then my brain at the time was like, oh, now I know what to do. Bad guy runs, I catch him. All the other stuff I was doing terrible at. I was doing the repetitive repetition. I would have been the laughing stock of any police breakdown. I was a shit show and I was doing everything wrong. And then he ran. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I know what to do now. Chase bad guy. And so I had a lot of confidence because I had years of running and years of jogging, and I finished every single one of my runs since I was a little kid with a sprint, because that's what my dad taught me to do. Didn't matter how tired I was, I always sprinted at the finish, no matter what. I always saved it for the end. And so it all comes back when you're playing cops and robbers, like Greg from Bars Open with Beth and Greg says in the chats here. Yes, because like I was very good at chasing people down. So for me, I'm going to run this guy down and then shoot him and not take that 40-year-old shot. I don't want this guy to get too far away from me, because then you're trying to play catch up and he can actually run and get a break and then start running again, which I've had happen to me, and that sucks. So I'm going. Now, if you're a cop that's not that good with running, you're not that confident with running, I can see the temptation to shoot or tase somebody on the run. I never had that temptation because I knew I was going to catch you. Like, I knew that you don't have the heart that I have, and you're not going to run that fast as far as you think you are with all your adrenaline, and I'm going to. So I think personally I would have tried to run this guy down, but that's where I thrive. This cop might not be that guy. So let's take a look. But yes, he takes these shots and the world's worst thing happens, and he knows it. This car comes by right as he pulls the trigger, and I don't know how he misses that car, but thank God he did. This guy is extremely lucky, because if it would have been me, there would have been a 5-year-old little girl in the backseat of that car and I would have killed her. That's just the kind of black cloud that I have around me. So, whoa, here we go.
Yo, sir, get out of there now. Go, go. Stay inside the house. Drop the knife. Get on the ground now. Stop now. Get on the ground now.
That's a long shot. That's way more than 40
Oh.
yards. And there's that fucking car. That's way more than 40 yards.
That's 75,
Right?
100, if not. Yeah, that's way further.
That's I mean, he's a tiny ass target. That could be a football field. I don't know. What do you think in the chats? How far do you guys think that is? I think that's pretty far.
The cop did slow down. He slowed down and
he tried,
he
just ran down some stairs. Yeah, that's an impossible shot. Yeah, Will Gray says that's about 60 yards. Yeah, I would say the same.
Central shot fired.
And now we're changing mags. I have no problem with that. He holds on to the mag. And now they have run into the suspect, who is kind of jogging, trying to turn around, fight or flight's kicking, and he doesn't know exactly what he wants to do, but he's on a basketball court, like in a park. And he's holding the knife. He's holding the knife straight up. What's that?
I was gonna say, is it a park or is this a really nice neighborhood?
Actually, this is a really nice house who have built a basketball court. This is Red's in the chat. This is Red's house, her dream house. She lives in Michigan too. They have like an actual basketball court. You bougie. This bougie. But he's holding the knife up. He's walking and he's holding the knife up, and it's a cake knife. And again, here's that 50 to 40 yard shot while walking. Doesn't really work out for him, and the guy takes off running again. So here we go.
We're running the way. Watch blue and blue, what?
So he stops here after they've rounded the corner. This is really smart. I know a lot of us would want to keep running and chase like the movies, but you can't. You have to stop and you have to say blue on blue. I'm coming through. Blue on blue. Watch blue on blue, because there's other people shooting from other directions, and you don't want to round that corner when you already saw your partner go around the other side of the house. So they're at a different house for you auto listeners. And this cop that we're watching is chasing him around, let's say, the north side of the house, but his buddy went to the south side of the house around that way, and you can hear gunshots. So he stops pretty shy of rounding that corner, and understandably so. Pies the corner. It's an open garage. The other partner who came from the opposite direction says that the guy ran into the garage. So that's great. That's really good critical thinking. We don't all need to follow in the same footsteps, meaning like if I'm chasing the guy, you don't have to get right behind me and chase him. If you think he's going to go to the left, then you can already go ahead and start cheating that way. I've got no problem with it. I think all that's really great. And so now we've had this guy disappear into another resident's garage. And you know, right now, it's a very small garage. It's a one-car garage with a John Deere lawnmower inside, and it's a very clean garage. And you can already tell that this dude is not in the garage. So what's your pucker factor now? Now he's in somebody else's house.
You've seen him right there as he came around you've seen him go in the house and close the door.
Yeah. So you know he's in somebody else's house and they're home because the garage door is open. Now you're like, oh shit, I wish I would have hit my target.
We're at 6535. Broadview.
Now, he's not that winded because he's out of shape. That loss of breath while you're trying to talk is 100% adrenaline taking over. That's just all that is. And there's nothing really you can do about that. I've heard comedians do it on stage when they get up there to do stand-up comedy for their first time. They sound out of breath. They sound, it's just something that happens to you. This has nothing to do with him being in shape or out of shape or being trained or not trained. He is completely in the moment. Soldiers will do this. Anybody in combat, most people will do this. And it takes repetition to get out of this. And you really don't know, and how do you get those reps? If you're a cop, there's always got to be a first time that you're in this situation. It's not like you're in this situation every day of your life. So before people start making fat jokes or anything, because this cop doesn't look fat at all, or before you start making out of shape jokes, just know that this will happen to you or anybody else in this same moment. And so just empathize with that as we watch the rest of this.
Hold that on me. Got you.
Now, pay attention. I've said it 1,000 times, and I want you to train for this. When adrenaline goes up, fine motor skills go down. He reached out for a very large doorknob and missed it and had to go back and hit it again. When adrenaline goes up, fine motor skills are down. If you're really training, you have to train with that in mind. It's a mental thing that you have to prepare for. If you're not prepared for it, and I talk about this in my book, when it happens to me for the first 2 or 3 times, and in critical incidents where I couldn't get my handcuffs out, or were one where I just couldn't simply handcuff the guy. I was shaking too badly. I just watched a movie last night called Warfighter or Warfare. It's called Warfare. It's about the SEAL team in Ramadi that was with the Marines. And it's probably the most realistic movie I've ever seen in my life. And it shows this perfectly. The guy tries to put a tourniquet on his buddy and he can't. He cannot. This is a Navy SEAL. He can't get the tourniquet. He can't, his fingers literally will not allow him to do it. And he doesn't understand why. And this is why. Because when adrenaline goes up, you lose those fine motor skills. They go away. Something as easy as unclasping your handcuffs becomes impossible. Racking your gun becomes very difficult. Trying to manipulate loading something would be very difficult. And if you're not prepared for that, and you're not aware of that, it's going to be very, very difficult. Now, let me ask you this. They got to a door that they know he went in. They checked the door and he'd already locked it. So he went in and locked the door. Are you abandoning that door like they are? You got one guy bolting to the left out of the garage to go to the back door, and you have another cop bolting to the right to go to the front door. Makes sense. I get it. Or are you just kicking that door in and going through that door?
Knowing how houses are set up and how my house is set up, my main door is a big, thick door. My back door is a main, thick door. My garage door, not so much. So if I was going to mule kick a door, that's the door that I'm going to try to kick. Plus, not only that, he just went in there. And to continue on, what you got to think, a lot of what we just watched could be anybody could have had bits and pieces of this happen to you, but never all together all at once. He went to an unknown trouble call, to finding out how many people are in the house, to finding out there's a hostage situation, to getting into a foot chase, to getting to a shooting, to getting into another foot chase, to getting to another shooting. Now we're entering another house. Now he's barricaded. Like, every bit of this could have been one call, but this is one call all together. So your brain's trying to play catch up. Like, what am I doing next? What am I doing next? What am I doing?
Am I allowed? Am I allowed to kick this door in? Do I need the SWAT team? What am I allowed to do? What am I not allowed to do? Will Gray says that door is getting kicked to me. I think so too. Like, I really do feel like I get to that door. I already saw him go in it and he locked it. I'm fucking booting that door. I'm not waiting. I'm not asking. And if he's gone out the back door, I didn't put this in the book, but I have been in a foot pursuit where I was too far behind and I lost. I lost where my partner was chasing the guy, and I find out later that he chased him for like 3 or 4 houses because these houses started randomly calling 911 saying some bad guy and a cop just ran through my house. And then somebody else was like, I just had a bad guy and a cop run through my house. And so like we're going house to house as he's running through these houses. And so, yeah, it could be very tricky, but yeah, I think I'm kicking that door in. I don't have a problem with him not doing it. I understand where he's at right now. Very hard to think your way through this. I think what they thought is he went in the front. Maybe he's going out the back type deal. I'm guessing that's where they're at right now. But I think, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm either kicking that door or I'm running to the next door and seeing if that door is unlocked.
We got to get in.
And I think once you said it, we've got to get in. Yeah, I think you start kicking that door right now.
I saw an arm go in the garage. Hey, he's in. Police! Police department!
And you can hear the panic. He's like, fuck. Like, and this is like, I know I need to be doing something, but I can't stop and think what I'm supposed to do. And so it has nothing to do with being a coward. It has nothing to do with being ignorant or not tactically sound. This is Probably not having a lot of faith in your leadership, probably not having a lot of reps on something as intense as this. Like if you're from the hood, this is like pretty common practice. You might be kicking that door a little quicker, but you're in a nice neighborhood. You're not used to doing this kinds of thing. This doesn't really happen in your neighborhood. And you probably don't have a lot of confidence in your leadership if you're trying to figure out like what the fuck to do next. And I don't have a problem with that. That's where we're at in society. And you're also thinking this guy's going to get away. Like he's going to sneak back out on you. He's going to pull a freaking abracadabra.
We're inside another house. Start SOT.
My worry is that the residents inside the house become more hostages themselves, and this becomes another barricaded situation.
Right,
So
but see, now you're thinking barricaded subject. What is my protocol for a barricaded subject? And that is, you know, that is a policy. Barricaded subject. Like what does your policy say? What are your tactics? What do your SOPs say? Do you kick the door in on a barricaded subject, or do you call, with what he just did, he called SWAT? It's a barricaded subject. You call SWAT because at the end of the day, you know, you're trained in drugs, you're trained in alcohol, you're trained in all the different mental illnesses. You're trained in, you know, not every cop is a tactical guru and knows exactly what to do. And listen, you don't know what this guy qualified on the range last time he went. He might not have confidence in himself to take out, or maybe he's a really good shooter and he does have the confidence. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's hard. You can't judge because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what this guy's, you know, why this guy became a cop. You know, not everybody becomes a cop because they want to be a Ninja Turtle. They want to be a tactical ninja. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, they want to be the coach of the baseball teams, or they want to fucking, do the DUI squad or bomb squad, or, you know, a lot of those guys that fly drones. I mean, everybody has a thing or a niche that they like. They like mediating domestic violence situations, but not everybody that joins the police department, believe it or not, has aspirations of ever being a SWAT guy. He goes for another reload. Got no problem with it. I like that he's thinking. He's using his brain. He's finding something to do. Love it.
We gotta get in.
He says, we got to get in. Now, this is the most half-ass effort of a mule kick I've ever seen. If you ever want to kick a door, I am not terrible at kicking a door. I'm not very bad at it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you are going to kick that door all the way through and off its fucking hinges. That is going through the motions. That is not believing in yourself. That door, if you would have I like to Spartan kick doors. I don't like the mule kick. I will go to the mule kick only if it's like a steel door on a steel frame, and I'm tired of kicking it the other way. But even a steel door on a steel frame, you will be very surprised at what damage you can do if you kick and you believe that your foot's going to go through that fucking door. So
there's a lot of momentum.
You just got to believe in yourself, man. I have had guys kick doors, rookies and stuff, kick a door and they not even move. And then I say, watch out, and I'll kick it and it'll fly off the hinges. And they'll later be like, dude, how did you do that? And I was like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, except that I believe that when I kick that door, I'm going to blow the door off its hinges. And I kick to break my fucking leg or the door breaks. And every time the door breaks, and maybe I'm a black belt in karate. Maybe I could break all those bricks or something, but this is a half-assed door attempt. And listen, if you don't have a lot of reps, if you don't have somebody to tell you that, you know, kick that door and it will open. I don't know. If you didn't work in construction, you know, as a kid, you don't know what the frames are made of. Maybe, you know,
here's a thought, just thinking out loud from the comfort of my chair here. I'm going to point that out. Just break the window. That window is right there.
You're not going to fit through that fucking window.
No, you're not going to fit through the window, but you can manipulate the door handle on the other side.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can unlock it. But that would be like thinking with your whole brain.
Yep.
These guys don't have a whole brain to think with because adrenaline has taken over 3/4 of that brain. So, but yes, you know, maybe you put that in your wheelhouse. Maybe that's what you learned from this today. I like Armory Knight's strategy here. He says, if you yell, "This is Sparta," when you do it, it'll work every time.
It opens every time.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah. But yes, if you're a critical thinker and you're not consumed with adrenaline, breaking the window and simply opening the door is a great way to take care of this. Yeah, it is thick glass, but you have an aspeton, and you also have a gun that you've already shot. Just shoot that bitch into the ground. Just kidding. I know that there's, I would do it, but I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Actually, I would have kicked my way through that door. I don't like to say, yeah, I'm not trying to these guys are great. These guys are doing a great job. I'll just say that I'm pretty confident that I'm kicking that door off its fucking hinges, and just because I've done it so many times. So
it's one of the things, like once you get like a one good door, that you'll kick the rest of them down.
Yeah.
And then you kick them hard enough that they slam open and then they slam shut again.
Yeah.
Because they open and they hit the wall and they come back.
Yeah. And the other cop doesn't even try. Come on, dude. Let's get in there and kick that fucking door, boys.
What road are we on? English up. Central Line, English up. Please, open the door! Open the door! Get out!
What's going on?
Out! You got some intruder inside your house.
Oh my God.
Go. Go to that Jeep over there. Anybody else inside?
Think how long that guy was. I was gonna say, think how long that guy was inside that house, and that lady inside that house was in there at the same time. They were both in there together at the same time, and she had no clue.
Yeah.
Think about what damage could have been done.
Dude, I want this to happen in my house. Like, I want some motherfucker to break into my house and then try to hide from the police, because he's getting
weight.
Dude, he's like, it'll be my fantasy would be like it's Major Pain, where I'm like, is he in there? Well, if he is, he ain't happy. But no, I like how the cop still has his wherewithal to say, is there anybody else in the house? And she says, yeah, my daughter.
Where's she at?
Oh shit, that's terrifying.
14 started canine.
He takes off running again, and now we're shooting, but he's missed. That fucking round hit that house. Like the adjacent house. That's terrifying.
Yeah. Started canine.
I have no problem with taking the shot, though. You have to do it, right? You can't afford for him to go take another hostage. You just can't.
Can't go to a third house.
I get it. You take that shot, and maybe he hit him, but if you miss, that sucks. And you know that when you're pulling the trigger, that your back's, that you have to make that shot.
Here's another thing. I just thought about, what did we just send running off in that direction?
Her,
the female
behind the Jeep.
Yep, yeah. The female that she could be.
Listen to her. She's like, oh, fuck. And he goes to another garage that's open. And he gives up because he's been shot. You can see some of the blood on the back of his bicep there. Looks like he's been shot right there in the back of the arm. At least that's one bullet hole there. So Abby Ellsworth says, why are there not more cops on scene at this point? Well, one, I don't know. I should have brought up a map, but Bath Township doesn't sound very big. This might be all the cops on. Remember Uvalde, when everybody was making a big fit about Uvalde? Do you know how many cops were working the day that Uvalde happened? I think it was 3 cops and 2 supervisors. So that's 5 cops. And remember that they had 3 scenes. They had a car scene, they had a car wreck scene, they had a shooting scene, a murder scene, and then they had the scene at the funeral home where the guy says that a guy ran by and took shots at them at this. So if you have 3 crime scenes and you say that you have 2 cops each at each crime scene, like that's 6, and you only have 5 cops total. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying, Abby? They probably don't have any more cops, and it's probably a state trooper coming at this point.
I got some math to help you out. Bath is an unincorporated community, and the census as of 2020, they had 2,841 people. That's it.
2,000 people. So, can you look up real quick how many cops they have? I bet it's not more than 40. And if that's 40, that means probably 10 of them are admin, probably 5 of them are detectives. And then you're going to have 2 different day shifts and then two different night shifts, and that's going to be your whole department.
Just quickly looking, it doesn't even look like they have like an official police, like, because you know how some police departments they'll have like an official police department, or then some you'll have like, this is the city of Eric and Eric's water department, Eric's this department's all in one like webpage. It's one of those. So it's not even big. It's
like
not
I
even big enough
know
to have.
Wilson's Mills, the town next to me, only has 2 cops working during the day, and they have 3 cops working during the night. So, here we go.
Behind your back. Put your hands behind.
Now I'll tell you this. In this scenario, you've got this guy and you're getting him on the ground and everything like that. I will say this, and this is from policing 10 years ago. This guy would have been blasted in the face by my fist at least 8 times already. I mean, I'm not fucking around. If I've already shot at you and I've already done stuff and you're not listening to me, the minute I put my hands on you, I am blasting you in the face. And you will be shocked how many people change their tone once they get cracked right in the fucking cheek. You don't need to tase them after that. You don't need to yell at them after that. And I write about this in my book a lot. But yeah, this dude's getting blasted in the face at least twice, if not more. And I'll show you right at which point. Let me rewind it real quick. I'll show you which point.
I have these numbers on good.
Right here.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing that backpack. I'm pulling him backwards, and then because I have his back, and I am punching him in the face, probably with that pistol still in my hand. I'm pistol smacking. My buddy actually got fired for hitting a guy in the back of the head with his flashlight on something like this, but the guy was just fleeing a stolen car, so that sucks. But yeah, I mean, this guy would have been getting blasted with my firearm in my hand in the face.
I have you to finish up on Abby's questions. Bath is comprised of a chief of police, a lieutenant, a detective, 2 sergeants, 7 patrol officers, including one of them as a canine, and 2 reserve officers. That's it.
Yeah, and they're not all working at the same time.
The entire police department could fit on the short bus, and so you would still have open seats. That's how many people they don't have.
Yeah.
So that's
why they probably don't get a lot of crime. So, and that's probably the reason why this guy can't kick that door in, because he's probably never had to do it before. Yeah, and exactly, like in a township, like at least 8 minutes, and we're not even 8. Like this whole thing lasts 8 minutes. The whole thing actually really lasts 6 minutes and 40 something seconds, and then the other 2 minutes is them just waiting for backup. So 8 minutes is not really that crazy of amount of time for a state trooper or a sheriff to get there. See, these cops are awesome. Like, they're not punching. They even punched this guy once, and he's still trying to fight back to his feet. Like, nah, this dude's. I'm stomping him at this point, but I wasn't that good of a cop, so don't listen to me.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Running him out.
Put your hands behind
Like,
your
I'm
fucking
stomping.
back.
I'm stomping on his legs. I'm stamping on his ribs. Like, this dude's going to the hospital remembering me forever. I like that he tases him. It's like, fuck you, I'll tase you. Just remember, guys, when you tase somebody, they can't obey you, because they have to ride the lightning first. So just remember that. We always forget that, and it's like out of habit, but just remember, like, you have to wait 5 seconds.
Put your hands behind your back. Then do it now.
But he listens. Taser worked. That's going to leave a hell of a bruise with 2 nice darts in your back. Plus, he's been shot twice. Once in the, looks like the back of the arm, and once in the middle of the back. So that's probably not boding too well for him right now. Now watch his cuffing. Watch his cuffing. Look at the look how hard it is for him to get a hold of that handcuff. Do you see where the fine motor skills have gone away? Let's play it again.
Get your hands behind your back.
Watch how hard it is for him to
Do it
get
now.
this handcuff.
Other hand.
He does great with the first one. Now watch.
Central, you should get cuffed. Taser deployment. Deploy.
The blood. Do you see the adrenaline? Do you hear the adrenaline coming out in his voice? You know what I mean? It's crazy. I'm fascinated by it.
Central Houston Sheriff's Office. Taser deployment, deploy. EMS. He's been shot.
Where's the knife? Where's the knife? Where's the knife?
Is that with it?
Where is it?
For the house to the east.
Sounds like you've been shot in the lung.
Double lock.
He's working through it.
Central.
Well, the other thing too, if you're thinking about like where backup is, they are now at their third house.
Yeah.
Homeowner in that house.
So,
Is it
and
common
you,
for?
if you got
Unknown on the
cul-de-sacs
dark
and all of that,
Unknown on the dark that wasn't.
And we're good. And this is the end of the thing. Let me just go ahead and read you the article. Bath Township Police Department stated that they responded to the trespassing call for a suspicious person at 2:27 p.m. on Saturday, July 12th. The initial call came from the 6,000 block of Heathfield Drive. The caller told police the suspect was walking through yards and attempting to break into vehicles. Police said the caller then reported that the suspect entered a neighbor's garage and was not seen again. The statement stated that dispatch received a second call from a home located at the 16,000th block of Nicholas Road near Pine Hollow Drive. The resident told dispatch he had been stabbed by the suspect. When officers got to the home, they found the suspect holding the resident hostage with a knife to his throat. Police said the suspect then ran out of the home with the knife. The department reports that officers told the suspect to stop multiple times, but he continued running towards the Meadows neighborhood located off of Nichols Road. Officers said this led both officers on the scene to shoot at the suspect. The suspect was able to get into a home on English Oak Drive and locked the door behind him. The residents of the home heard police trying to break down the door and opened it. The resident was uninjured and did not know the suspect was in their home. Police immediately evacuated the residents. The suspect then ran to the home next door and an officer shot at him again. Police said the suspect went into the garage where there was a short struggle and a taser was deployed. Officers detained the suspect, provided medical care, and took him to UM Health Sparrow Hospital, where he is stable, but his condition is unknown. Police said there is no ongoing threat to the public, and Bath Township officers involved in the shooting were put on administrative leave. No officers were injured during the incident, and the Michigan State Police will investigate since there was an officer-involved shooting. So there you go. Happy ending there.
I got his charges.
Go ahead.
He has a long list.
Okay.
He has been charged with assault with intent to murder, home invasion, first degree, 2 counts, assault with a dangerous weapon, 2 counts, assault resisting obstructing an officer, 2 counts, assault and battery, misdemeanor, breaking and entering without owner's permission, and his bond was set at $1 million.
Which is like if you get into domestic violence and you punch your wife in the cheek, you're probably going to get $1 million bond too. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. $1 million doesn't seem like that big of a bond to me.
It sounds like there was 4 different houses. There was the first house, and then
I bet you this guy's going to get off with misdemeanor, mental health issue is what he's going to get away with.
Even here, the breaking and entering without permission is a misdemeanor. The assault and battery is a misdemeanor.
It's all going to get pled down to maybe like 1 felony, and he'll probably not do very much time if I had to guess. I bet you he does a lot of it just in like outpatient mental health stuff. We'll see, but I don't have a lot of faith. He looks crazy, and it looks like what he was doing was crazy behavior, and so they'll probably do some kind of crazy behavior instead of putting him in jail. But that was a really fun case. That's the case that gives you nightmares, and you have to train for that case. Guys, mentally prepare yourself for that, because how are you going to act? And it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to say, would I kick in that door? It's okay to ask, am I allowed to shoot somebody? These are things that you should be wargaming in your head so that when you get into that scenario, you already have in your mind what you're going to do and that what you're allowed to do. And that's why continue training. And if you're a supervisor, pulling your younger officers and your older officers aside and say, hey, let me give you a quick scenario. What do you do here? And make sure that they understand what they're allowed to do and what you're going to allow them, what you're comfortable with them doing. If you're not comfortable with your patrol officers, if you don't trust them, if they don't have the training you think that they should have to be kicking in a door, then maybe you express that then and there and be like, oh, it's great, but I don't think, Josh, I don't think you're the one that needs to be kicking that door in because you suck at shooting and you don't make the best decisions in the world. I'm not talking about you. I should have said a different name, but you get what I'm saying.
I'm not kicking the door because my legs don't work that great.
Yeah,
somebody
Josh
better
is
likes-
not like, we're not kicking the door, Josh. Like, your leg sucks. Like, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, but these are all discussions that you should be having, guys. Pig Latin is getting crazy. The book is getting crazy. You guys want to be a part of this journey? Trust me. Go and pre-order my book today, and follow Tyler Gray. His new book just came out. He was our guest last week. Forging Chaos, a Delta Force operator, Purple Heart recipient. Tyler Gray. Phenomenal book. I'm really enjoying it. It's pretty awesome. Forging Chaos, very exciting stuff. But you know, it talks a lot about issues that I grew up with mental health and with believing in yourself and things like that. So it's not only is it a book with the war story and everything, but it's also a book about you know, that inner dialogue that you have with yourself and how important that inner dialogue is. And I am very convicted reading that book because I suffer from not believing in myself. I play to the world like I believe in myself, and I do a good job when the camera's on, but when the camera's off, I don't. I feel like I've let more people down. I'm embarrassed. You know, I don't hang out with a lot of people or anything like that. I don't like to people because I often don't feel like a successful person. And reading Tyler's book and being friends with Tyler for the last couple of months, like, and talking to him on the phone and working on a different project with him, it really has kind of, I'm remapping my brain to do a better job of believing in myself and not being so afraid to be confident. And not play myself down as much. And listen, I've hung out with Lázaro Lopez, and he suffers from it too. So Lázaro Lopez, love you, brother. Buy the book Forged in Chaos and read it. I think it'll help you out as much as it's helped me out. I've really enjoyed the book thus far. But make sure you follow him on social media at the very least. We also have all of our other podcasts on the network. We have Allie in the Archives. Go and follow her podcast on being a police officer. As always, she's always got the best stuff with JC Santana that she's working with right now. Abby, make sure you go and check her podcast out. And then, of course, A Murder on Campus, the professor, the cop, North Carolina's most notorious cold case, and our new detective that our true crime investigator, True Crime Santana, his podcast called True Crime Santana. So go and follow all of those. And of course, our good old friend Dexter Pitts with the book I Am Pitts is doing a lot of great things in this world. So appreciate everybody. You guys enjoy my birthday for me. And if you haven't already, if you want to get me a gift for my birthday, then buy my book. And if you've already bought my book, buy my book for somebody else and give it away. That would be awesome. Don't forget about the Bars Open with Beth and Greg. We love all of you guys and hope to have you here this week because so much more fun Fox News stuff is coming out. And so I'm going to go enjoy my robe. Take us out of here.
We will